All right, so you want more energy? Well, here are 3 foods you must avoid if you want to feel your best. Hey guys, Uriel Kim here, New York Times best-selling author of the All-Day Energy Diets, health and fitness experts, and the man to help you live a healthier, fitter, and more prosperous life. On the table in front of me, I have some vices. I actually call them energy vampires. And that's because these 3 foods rob your energy big time. So shall we dive into them and have a look at why? So first and foremost, we have the good old coffee. #1 drug in the world. And I have nothing against this brand or any brand in particular, just coffee in general. Full disclosure, I actually drink coffee occasionally, but I drink decaf. And the reason I'm not a fan of coffee, and not just that I'm not a fan of it, but it's actually not good for human health / energy, is that caffeine is a stimulant. And what caffeine does is it wears down your adrenal glands and it's gonna wreak havoc on your blood sugar levels. Now I apologize, someone in the distance is hammering away on something. But anyways, caffeine is an artificial energy booster. It's kind of like thinking like credit cards are making you wealthy. Like if you spend money on your credit card, you actually feel wealthy. It's the same way of thinking like if I drink coffee, I feel energized. It's giving you a short-term boost that will be followed by an energy debt, which basically means you're gonna have a boost in energy, you feel good. That's because the adrenaline is being released from your adrenal glands, which have been stimulated from the caffeine. You get this go, 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 go. You're focused. An hour later, you're starting to come off the high because remember, this is a drug. You're starting to come off the high and then you start feeling really crummy, like zombie-ish. And the thing too is that the more caffeine you drink, the more you require to experience the initial results. And that's a hallmark sign of a drug. Another sign is when you don't drink it, you go into withdrawal. And if you've ever gone off caffeine, that's what happens. So I don't want to debate over this. Caffeine is a drug. It's obviously well known to be the #1 drug in the world. And that's not a good way to fuel your body if you want lasting energy, okay? Because it wreaks havoc on the adrenals. The adrenals wear down. You're no longer able to handle stress or daily life. It's going to ruin your blood sugar, and that's going to lead to all sorts of problems. So that's not a good thing, okay? So let's put the caffeine away. If you're going to drink coffee, switch to a Swiss water decaf at the very minimum. Or better yet, just enjoy some greens like I do. I mean, this is what I do in the morning instead of coffee. I just drink my greens. I got my greens. So I have a greens powder called Uriel Kim's Energy Greens. I put a scoop in water. It tastes amazing, and that's what I have instead of coffee. So that's the first thing. Second is cupcakes, specifically these cupcakes. No, this basically is to represent sugar. So the reason I have these is because my kids were at a birthday party yesterday, and it was actually really cool. They went to a local grocery store, and they had a cooking class, so they got to make their own pizza and cupcakes. It's cool. Like my kids are 3 to 6 as of the shooting, so that was they had a great time, and cooking is a good skill to develop. So, anyways, they made these cupcakes, and now apparently we have to eat them. So, full disclosure, we're gonna crush these cupcakes. I'm telling you, because I do enjoy the occasional treats, but if they're good, which I'm sure they will be. But anyways, what I'm trying to say here is that if you're eating this stuff on a frequent basis, it will destroy your energy. And that's the very same reason as with caffeine, is that sugar has the same impact on your body that caffeine does. Now, when I said I was gonna crush these, I shouldn't have used the word crush them. I said I probably will have 1 or 2, and that's it. But to rely on muffins, cupcakes, pastries, any kind of sugary products, refined carbohydrates on a regular basis is going to drain your energy. It's going to wreak havoc on your blood sugar, so it's going to spike your blood sugar. You're going to go into that high state again, like with the caffeine. And then when the blood sugar is removed out of the blood from insulin, you're going to have a crash, and you're going to feel really jittery, not so good. You're going to need some more sugar to come back to life. It's just not a good thing to do. But again, I mean, I don't know how you raise your kids, but we're a little bit more liberal with ours. We're not crazy food Nazis. We let them enjoy things like this once in a while because it's part of, it's part of life, right? It's part of growing up. It's part of being a kid. And I think if you go through life depriving yourself and robbing yourself of the occasional treat, I don't think that's a lot of fun. So as I'm saying this stuff, I want you to understand that I'm not saying you can never ever have this stuff ever again, but But I'm just saying if you're relying on it on a daily basis, it's going to compromise your energy, okay? So finally, we've got bread. Bread, wheat, grains that are glutinous are the issue. And the reason because is A, like with sugar, they're gonna do stuff to your blood sugar. They're gonna spike your blood sugar levels, which is not great. Even whole wheat bread is worse than white bread. So you wanna be careful with that. This is actually an organic sprouted bread that my wife Amy got. So we don't usually have bread at home, but occasionally we do. She brings it into the house, and that's fine, right? Like, it's again not the end of the world, depending on how you approach your health. But for us, occasionally we'll have bread, but very seldomly. But again, if you're having bread, if you're relying on sandwiches, toast, all that kind of stuff on a daily basis, you're getting way too much of these refined carbohydrates in. But also, gluten becomes a problem for a lot of people. Gluten can compromise the health of your gut. It can also seep into the bloodstream and start to confuse your immune system, because gluten has a very similar protein structure as your thyroid does. So that can develop into something called Hashimoto's, which is the immune disorder, autoimmune disorder, where the immune system attacks your own thyroid. So in general, bread doesn't really give us any nutritional value. If people talk about B vitamins or fiber, you can get all that stuff through vegetables, all right? So if you wanna have it, go with a sprouted grain bread if you need to. Ideally, there's some really good gluten-free options as well that are based on potato flours or bean flours that you can try as well. But in general, these are the three energy vampires that if you reduce and avoid them, your cork, right? The cork is the analogy for feeling great. You as a human are meant to be floating on the surface of water, just vibrant, feeling good. These types of food choices on a consistent basis pulls the cork underwater and it suffocates you. And as we start to remove these foods from our diet, that cork comes back to the surface and you start feeling a heck of a lot better. Now, if you want to know what steps to take next to really fix your fatigue and have more energy, then I have just the book for you. It's actually called Fix Your Fatigue, and it's a condensed version of my protocol to helping you have all day energy. And I'd like to give it to you absolutely free to download. You can do that today. The link's somewhere on this video or just below in the description. And inside, you'll get my exact strategies that you can deploy starting today to have a lot more energy by this time tomorrow. Now, I know that sounds like a big promise, but I've helped over 500,000 men and women with these very same approaches, and it's worked. So I'm sure if you're a human being from planet Earth, it'll work for you as well. So get that today. And if you have any thoughts about this stuff, let me know in the comments. Let's get a nice little discussion going. And remember to subscribe to the channel. I've got lots more great stuff coming your way to help you live a healthier, fitter, and more prosperous life. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Yuri Elkaim signing off, and I hope you have an awesome day, guys. Ciao.